welcome to MeowMix, the Carolina Panthers podcast. My name is Steven.
My name is Drunk Jerry. He's back!
Jerry he makes an appearance around this time of year. It's the special time of year.
I had a hard weekend, and I don't work tomorrow. I'm partaked a little early.
Partaked a little early. Your grammar is on point. It is a holiday week here, so Jerry and I are recording a day early, which means we do not currently have injury reports. All of the news from the week has not come out yet, but you know what? It's the holidays. We're going to record a little early. We're going to do our best. And we appreciate you guys hanging with us.
Happy Thanksgiving!
Happy Thanksgiving. So the Panthers are playing the Broncos this week at home at the bank. Week 12 of the NFL season. There are 18 weeks total in the NFL season, Jerry. We're at week 12.
Yeah, and it's rushing by, but at the same time, it's not coming by fast enough.
Yeah, I mean, Panthers are now 3-8.
Mm-hmm.
This is a fact. This is the reality of the situation. Are they a 3-8 team?
I mean, that's what they are. What their record says.
They are what their record is.
I mean,
the ball bounces a few different ways. This is a team that's right in the middle of things, but we're 3-8.
I mean, I agree. We could easily be about 6-5. I think. I mean, like you said, refs calling correct penalties, like fake spikes. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's one. I mean, last week,
helmet coming off. A field goal is missed here or there. I mean, they're just little things.
It's little things. Last week, a competent quarterback. Oh, if we had a competent quarterback, we'd probably have more than 3 more wins. But
yeah, well. We're about to see our latest quarterback starting here. Sam Darnold named the starter this week. Baker Mayfield healthy. Sam Darnold seems to be the better choice according to Steve Wilks and company.
I think you have to go with him. I agree with Steve Wilks. He's trying to audition for this job. I mean, Baker has shown it in his 5 or 6 starts that he's not the guy, man. He's too conservative. Even if Ben McAdoo's play calling is atrocious, which it is, you can't only throw 5 yards deep.
Yeah.
You have to try sometimes. There's been windows where DJ Moore was open downfield, but he was too quick to jump to the next guy. He's too scared. And you got to see what else.
It's not like Baker doesn't have the arm to
go
downfield. So what it sounds like you're saying, Jerry, is that we need a quarterback who is mentally capable of running the offense better, and that quarterback is Sam Darnold?
I am saying right at this point of the season that, honestly, I think P.J. Walker might be the best option, but he is injured.
100% P.J. Walker is the best option. 100%. I mean, this team has looked best under P.J. Walker, and I don't even think it's close. Honestly.
Oh, it's so sad.
Yeah, we had the Cincinnati game, which was just a complete mess. But other than that, he's looked at the most consistent and the most competent of all the quarterbacks.
Okay.
But he is hurt. So
quick question. Next year, if we have to keep one of these quarterbacks, hypothetically, you have to keep one of the starting quarterbacks from this year, which one would you be keeping?
Are we assuming the money is the same for all of them?
Yes, absolutely.
And Matt Corral is already going to be here.
Yes, he's under contract. The other 3 are not.
I don't know. I need to see Sam, I guess. I mean, I don't want any of them. But I guess I'd go with PJ.
Yeah,
because I think Sam and Baker. I mean, I think Baker's broken. I don't think Baker. I don't know what Baker's future is in the NFL.
I don't either. I don't know if you can. I don't think any NFL team out there looks at his games this season and say, yeah, he could play for us. I mean, literally, I think a undrafted rookie quarterback will probably be better. Nathan Peterman is not as good as him, but still.
Now, Nathan Peterman has a job. So I guess, in that sense, sure. But, is this like a Johnny Manziel situation? Another Browns QB that was drafted number 1 overall that didn't make it and
Manziel
is
wasn't
now
first
gone.
overall. Someone's gonna comment on that, so you better
What was
better.
he? Second?
No, he was like 17th or so, maybe in 20th.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because Dallas wanted to jump up and draft him, but uh, the Jerry Jones's son basically
Oh, you're
draft
right.
blocked him.
22nd pick. Okay, well, another first round pick is obviously what I meant. Number 1 pick for the Browns. Yeah, it's 22nd pick. But either way, a guy that was highly touted comes out undersized, can't make it in the NFL. So I don't know that Baker is going to be trying out for the XFL anytime soon, but I don't think he's going to be. He's definitely not going to be on the Panthers.
No,
So it's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, we will be seeing Sam Darnold this week. Welcome back, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. I was one of the person I did not want the most here, and now I'm sitting here saying, well, you might as well bring him back and try like this week.
We've been talking about it for weeks,
Yeah,
honestly. That I mean, why not at this point? He'll be the 3rd starting quarterback of the year, and that's never good. That's never good. There's another little piece of news here, Jerry.
yeah, Steve Wilks kind of came out firing on players this week, which is very interesting. When asked about DJ Moore, I'm going to go ahead and start with this one, even though I don't have the exact quote. Talking about why isn't DJ Moore targeted more, and especially we've noticed it whenever Baker starts. Whenever PJ starts, it seems like DJ gets his, as a number 1 receiver, his fair share. But when Baker starts, he doesn't. And Steve Wilks came out and said, well, when he's throwing the ball, he needs to catch it. He also added that, scheme and, maybe we need to be more creative. But I thought that was a little fiery to come out at DJ, who's been nothing but a stellar player, in my opinion, in the fact that he's had crappy quarterbacks here for 4 or 5 years. He's been nothing but a team leader. He's never come out of line saying, hey, look, I'm having Kyle Allen. I'm having crappy Baker Mayfield. I have Teddy Bridgewater. I have these guys throwing to me, and I'm still putting up 1,100-yard seasons. I'm not getting that. So at this point, I don't like a coach going after a single player.
Yeah, I guess I can see Wilkes is just like he's frustrated. He's
Yeah.
frustrated at the scheme. He did. I mean, DJ Moore straight up dropped a ball.
Yeah, he did.
Dropped a first down in a game where first downs were not easy to come by. In a game where scoring was not easy to come by, that was a play that was, could have moved the ball down the field. I think they ended up moving the ball down the field anyway a couple plays later, but it's very Matt Rule thing to do. Like Matt Rule likes to call players out, and Steve Wilks seems like the kind of guy that wouldn't do that, but he may be trying something different. I mean, he's throwing stuff at the wall and seeing if it sticks.
Yeah, I don't think you call out players. In my opinion, I don't like it. Everything I've heard from former players, it seems to do the opposite effect of turning the locker room against you. I mean, I could see, hey, we just the whole drop, the one drop he had. I don't think you need to call out. Yeah. If someone asks you specific about that, you could say, hey, he's a player. Unfortunately, things like that happen during the game. You move on.
Yeah. I mean, DJ has been very professional this whole season. I mean, he's guys had 1,000 yards each of the last 3 seasons. He's not going to come anywhere close to that this season, but he hasn't bitched and complained. He hasn't gone to the media. He hasn't demanded. He should be treated with a little more respect, I think.
I 100% agree, and I think that's why I started off with DJ Moore, because I feel like he's earned the respect of keeping his name out of your mouth, talking badly like that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He also talked about CJ Henderson, who again, I do not agree with calling out players single name and stuff, but he said that CJ Henderson has too much talent not to be playing better. And
Yeah.
I agree, but I don't think you need to say that. You could say, hey, we need to look at the tape, see how things are going, see where we can improve CJ Henderson, which we all know that he's not playing up to that first round talent pick that the Jags put on him. That's why he was traded.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he's here.
Yeah, I mean, CJ Henderson's not been good for the
No,
Panthers.
I agree.
He's been up and down, mostly down. He's had a couple of games that he's stood out and looked good. He does have talent. I mean, that's why he was drafted in the top 10. But he has not played well here, and he's still under contract next year. Like, he's a guy that's going to be here, I think. So he needs to step it up. I mean, that's just the fact.
Yeah. And maybe Steve Wilks as a secondary coach needs
More
to
from
kind
him.
of step.
Him, yeah.
I was gonna say maybe Steve Wilks as a secondary coach maybe need to step up as a coach and help coach him better, because there's so many third downs and shorts that he's playing so far off. Maybe that's part of the coaching. Maybe that's him wanting to, but he needs to stop giving that cushion. Maybe that's something Steve Wilks needs to work on.
I don't know that he's a good zone corner, and we play a ton of zone. And we play a ton of zone because we can't get pressure on the quarterback. I understand that. So maybe in a scheme where you've got a better front seven, CJ Henderson would thrive. I think JC Horn's another guy that is better in man-to-man.
I agree.
It just is. So I think it's a lot of scheme, but JC Horn still is playing extremely well. And CJ Henderson should be playing better than he is. DJ Moore, by the way, has 4 drops on the season, officially 4 drops on the season, which is like 20th in the league or something. So it's not like he's got a drop problem.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, I think he even Steve Wilks also commented that his run blocking has been exceptional. Dude, you leave that guy alone. You just say, hey, we need to focus more on trying to get him the ball.
You know what DJ Moore is. You know DJ Moore is a good wide receiver. Is he elite? I don't know.
I think he's a top 10
round pick that somewhat. You think he's a top 10 wide receiver in the league?
I think he could be. I
don't think he is right now.
No, not right now, but I don't know how you can count it. Yes. I don't know how you can. I don't know how you can say he's a top 10 with the garbage that's throwing him the ball.
I don't think he's been a top 10 for his career. I think he's been like a top 20 guy.
Yeah.
But he's still you still know what he is. I mean, he's a very good wide receiver. One more little piece of news, not on our sheet here, but Matt Rule's been making the rounds. He's sort of come out of his hiding place. I saw Pro Football Talk speculated that he may not be getting the job offers that he thought he was going to, so he's starting to make the media rounds and get his face out there again. But there was really no revelations that came out from him. It's the same crap that we've heard for 3 years. He blamed COVID. Mm-hmm. He blamed he said that the lack of his relationship with the players he thought was an issue, but again, he blamed COVID for that. He said the plan was good. If he had 5 years, he thought it would work. So I mean, it's the same crap we've been hearing for years.
I also heard him say, which kind of goes into the fact of him claiming that not getting the offers he wants. He said the day his firing, I believe this was on Good Morning Football. They were talking about it was a very interesting day. He was informed that he was terminated or fired at around 10:35 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
He had his meeting with the players at 11. At 11:35, he already got interest from a coach search firm. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah.
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. Somebody's trying to get their money Because
Yeah.
he's gonna be hired by somebody.
I think he's a good college coach.
Yeah.
He's not an NFL coach where players have families, they're adults, they're
Yeah.
grown. College players are technically adults anyways, but there's a difference mentality when you're early 20s to
Yeah.
mid 20s to early 30s. It just is.
It's a very different job. It
Yeah.
is a very different job. But yeah, I mean, good luck to Matt Rule. Whatever. All right. So before we jump into this week's preview, we're going to check out last week's PFF grades and sort of button that game up again, a 13-3 loss to the Baltimore Ravens. We're going to check out the offense first, as we always do. Look at the top. Looks like we have the top 6 here, and then the bottom 5. Jerry,
Yeah.
you want to kick us off?
Yeah, I put 6 at the top for offense because Cam Irving had 2 snaps on it.
Okay.
I don't consider that really.
Let's just skip over him completely.
Number 1, Taylor Moton, 69.6. Cam Irving, number 2, who cares, 2 snaps. Brady Christensen, number 3, 64.5. Terrace Marshall Jr., again on this, 63.9. Ian Thomas, a tight end, is actually making the top 5, 63.8. Bradley Bozeman, 61.3. Another solid start for most of the linemen.
Yeah.
Now going to the bottom 5, we do have a lineman here, and it's about to be sad, guys.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Moore, 49.4. Ike Ekwonu, 48.7. Still hasn't allowed a sack, but he struggled, guys.
Yeah.
Chuba Hubbard, 47.4. Shai Smith, 45.3. And Tommy Trimble. There's the other tight end, 42.2.
We always have to at least have one tight end anchoring the bottom of the scores.
Yeah, it's the bottom 2 or 3. It's not even like the 5th one usually. It's always right down there.
Yeah, I saw Tommy Bull on his back with a rusher coming at Baker more than once in that game last week.
Should we call him Tommy Turtle Trimble?
Yeah, that's Drunk Jerry strikes again. So yeah, no real surprises there, I guess, other than Icky being in the bottom 5. But again, we've seen that a little bit. Still growing pains. He's still a rookie. He's he's still learning, so not a big deal. But I did like seeing the majority of the offensive line in the top 5. That was good to see.
And his pass blocking was better than his run blocking. I don't think he had a bad pass blocking. So it's really weird that he's struggling in the run game, in my opinion, in PFF's opinion.
We didn't run nearly as much as we should have in that game, so he might have had more opportunities had they run more. Looking at the defense now, we're going to start here at the top. And again, we got Amari Barno leading the pack, but only 3 snaps. He had a 74.9. Sam Franklin, actually, 29 snaps, a 70.1 for him. Good game for Sam. Then we got Frankie Luvu, always one of our favorites, 69.6. Xavier Woods, 68.2. And J.C. Horn with a 65.8. Bottom 5 here. The other corner, Keith Taylor. We were really hoping to see some good things from him in this game. Didn't happen. 50.4. Marquand McCall, only 2 snaps, 42.5. Brandon Smith actually played 24 snaps. I did not see him out there as much as I didn't see him out there 24 snaps, but apparently he was out there. 33.4 for him. Not too good. Brian Burns, 30.6 in 68 snaps.
Yeah, that's really weird. I even gave him my hero because, it seemed like he was back in the backfield holding Lamar so much, but PFF did not like it. Maybe my opinions was him kind of spying with it, but...
Well, he got hit hard on the run defense, and they ran the ball a lot.
But they didn't do much on the run. That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Phil Hoskins at the bottom here, 29.8. Yeah, I don't know. That Brian Burns thing, it does surprise me a little, but we've talked about Brian Burns all year. Like he's back there, but he doesn't get the quarterback down enough.
Well, I think last week was special because Lamar Jackson's back there. I don't think you personally try to attack him that much. I think you need to hang back and
And that could be,
contain him.
It could have been a scheme thing. Could have just been a scheme. They've only got him in coverage 4 times, but I bet he was kind of like rushing but not rushing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to over pursue Lamar Jackson because that's
Right.
30 yards easily. I do want to say, after Amari Barno had that beautiful play in the first quarter, why do you not let him play a little bit more? As a 4-3 defensive end, I don't understand that. Like, he looked good in his one snap. He read the defense or the offense correctly. Why are you not letting him get more snaps in there, considering, I mean, the other guys aren't doing it. Yeah.
I mean, we're 3-8. Let's start seeing the young guys. Let's see Brandon Smith more. Let's see Amari Barno more. Yeah, I 100% agree. And then obviously the 3 snaps he had,
he looked good.
He played well. I mean, give him a shot. Yeah. Yetur is doing nothing. He's not playing well. He hasn't played well all season. Marquise Haynes doesn't seem to ever get any snaps. Even though I'd like to see him more, he doesn't seem to.
I would like to see him 2 more. I agree.
So I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, but all right. Any other final thoughts on last week's game before we move into this week's game?
No, I think I already said my piece about the Amari Barno. You said Brandon Smith, which I so agree. Yeah. Even if he's on the bottom, I want to see him more. I mean, his tackle grade's high, which is something that other linebackers seem to struggle with on this team. So,
agreed. All right. Well, let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back. CBDX.com. Jerry, tell me about it.
Get your gummies, flour, vapes, everything CBD related, Delta 8. Get it at CBDX.com. Promo code Meow for 20% off and free shipping. It's what I use almost every night. I know Steven has some right there. He took a gummy before this, so once we're done, he can hopefully go to sleep. So it works, guys. Don't drive on it, but it helps relax you. It is the closest thing legally that I could have here in North Carolina.
Do some research on what Delta 8 actually is and where it comes from. And you might be surprised why it's legal. Because it's basically the real deal. CBDX.com, promo code Meow, 20% off free shipping. Helps you guys out. And we get a little kickback as well. So if you want to help the show and help yourself, check them out. All right. We are back. So this week, I have the trivia. And I kept it down to 1 question for Jerry this week.
Okay. You did 1 or 2 good, 7. That's a little long in the tooth, in my opinion, especially for a division rival that will hit again.
Yeah, I understand. You know what? I get excited about the trivia. I like trivia. I'm a big Jeopardy fan. I wanted to do like the $100 question all the way down, but that's okay. We're just going to do 1 question today. Jerry, this question is going to be around Dangerous Wilson.
Oh, God.
Mr. Unlimited. The Panthers have played Russel Wilson 7 times in his career. And actually, we played him 6 years in a row. 5 years in a row. 2012 to 2016, every single year. Which is kind of weird for a non-division opponent.
Yeah, it seemed like they were slightly division rivals there for a while with Cam and Russ.
It was really a rivalry. The question is, how many times did we get the best of Russell Wilson in this rivalry? What do you think the Panthers' record is against Russell Wilson in his career?
And how many games was it? 6, you said?
7 games. 7 games.
Okay. I think we're 3-4.
We are 1-6.
Oh!
Against Russell Wilson in his career. That was shocking to me.
Oh, well, I thought he had our number. I know I was at a game where we were dominatingly winning, and I had an annoying Seahawks fan that shut up, and then somehow they came back and won because I think Cam Newton went out with an injury during it. Well, no, it wasn't someone else. It was one of our corners went out with an injury, And then Russell Wilson picked on that quarter. God, I wish I
Mm.
remembered that game.
I don't remember it.
It was like, oh,
Try to black out all the losses, to be honest. So I really only remember one of these games, and that was in 2015. That's the one time that we beat Russell Wilson was in 2015. You probably could have guessed that if I would have
yeah.
given you that as a secondary trivia question. Yeah. October 18th, 2015, the Panthers won 27-23 against the Seahawks. So this, Russell has owned the Panthers. He has owned the Panthers in his career. I don't know if it's the best record he has, but I can't imagine there's many that he has better with that many games against them, right? It's probably the best winning percentage he has. So this is even though the Broncos are a little down this year, the history is not on our side. And Vegas seems to agree because this is a home game. Panthers are 2.5 point underdogs against a team that basically has the same record
Yeah.
as them. So I mean, the Broncos are 3-7. They have not looked good at all. They just cut their starting running back, Melvin Gordon. Jerry Jeudy, their number one receiver, is questionable. He's missed a few games. He's day to day, might play, might not. And yet, we're still almost 3 point underdogs at home. Over under 36 points.
And I would take the under.
Well, I mean, combined for 13 or 16 points last week. So, yeah, I think I'd take the under as well.
I mean,
they could probably set this at 30 points, and I might take the under.
I mean, this is strength against weakness on both sides of the ball. I think the Panthers have a good defense, and the Broncos have a great defense. Like it,
yeah.
I don't think that the Broncos offense is very scary at all. I think Russell Wilson, I understand why Seattle got what they did for him. I mean, who's winning that trade, in my opinion? Seattle.
Oh, easily. I mean, Seattle's a playoff team right now. And they've got a potentially top 5 pick coming to them from Broncos.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah. So we're going to get into our keys here in 1 sec.
Okay.
Do you think that the Panthers have any edge at all by starting Sam Darnold, a guy that the Broncos don't have any tape on this year? Is there anything there? I'm trying to be positive about something. Is there anything there?
I mean, honestly,
starting Sam with no tape, maybe that defense is caught a little off guard.
I also think a lot of Sam Darnold's problems, I'm going to defend Sam Darnold, is the fact that he's had horrible O-lines. And he, in my opinion, I don't think he has the mental makeup to handle that pressure constantly. I think once he gets hit, especially if you have him consistently getting hit in games, he breaks down. That's why I think last year he started out pretty good, like being consistent and good. I think after getting hit so much, and this is just my observations. I don't want anybody to assume. I think he breaks down mentally. I think he's not that quarterback that can throw multiple interceptions, multiple sacks, and then just bounce back. That being said, I think there is a positive to him being the first game. I think there's a positive to this O-line being so much better than it was last year.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. And there are a lot of quarterbacks in the league that if they had the O-lines that Sam Darnold has had in his career, would not succeed. I mean, just flat out. He's had bad teams around him his whole career. Not to say that Sam Darnold, we should feel bad for Sam Darnold or Sam Darnold's, been dealt a bad hand or something. But it will be interesting to watch to see if with this improved O-line, not an elite O-line, but a very much improved O-line over what he had last year.
Yeah.
If he can look better.
I do believe this would probably be his best O-line he's ever started behind. I mean, I think Icky hasn't allowed a sack since week 2, even though he has some false starts. Moton has looked good. I mean, granted, the Broncos have a good pass rush, but I think you have to say this is the best O-line he's sat behind during the game.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, is this the best team to go against for your first start of the
No.
season? Maybe not. Maybe not. But all right, well, let's get into our keys of the game here, Jerry. Why don't you go ahead and kick it off for us?
Okay. So our first key play of the game is run the ball and stick with it if you're in the game. Don't turn to this constant, 3-and-out passing. I get trying to mix it up. And even if it's not working like last week, stick to it. Denver is not the greatest run defense in the league. They give up 118 yards per game, 14th in the league. It's still good. I'm not going to say, oh, wow.
Yeah. Right in the middle of the league. Yeah.
So, but stick with it. Keep grinding. Let Deontay Foreman, get his legs under him. Let's try to weaken their defensive line to really feed onto the play action, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, the least amount of throws that Sam Darnold has to make, the better.
The better!
Right? If Sam Darnold's throwing the ball 30 times, we probably lost this game. I mean, let's just be flat out honest.
100%.
If we run the ball 35 times, there's a good chance that we're in this game at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. That's the fact. So I don't want to see, every series start off with a bootleg, play action pass like we did last week 4 or 5 times. Let's just run the ball. Just be boring. Run the ball a couple of times, get into 3rd and short, and then throw a screen pass to LaVisca Chenault.
Okay, side matchup. Let Chenault run a play that's not a screen pass. Seriously, guys. Stop feeding Shi Smith. I liked him in the preseason. He's not it. Let Chenault run routes as the slot and let him get targets too. God, man. Sorry, side quest.
I think the Panthers just brought Aaron Mosby up from the practice squad.
Linebacker.
I just got an alert on my phone, so yeah. So hey, there you go, breaking news. Next key here is going to be and it goes along with this. All right, limit the turnovers. Don't give the Broncos a short field. That's what killed us against the Ravens.
Yeah.
Don't let Sam Darnold throw the ball a lot. That's going to help with that.
Yeah. Exactly. And Patrick Surtain will pick him off.
Patrick Surtain being probably following DJ Moore around.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, or he just shuts one side of the field down. I haven't seen enough Broncos games to know how they use him.
You shouldn't have seen.
I know he's very good. Yeah. I mean, Patrick Surtain is very good. He's considered right now to be the best corner out of that draft class.
Yeah, and we had him number 1 in our draft board of cornerbacks. I mean, we both said shock J.C. Horn, but J.C. Horn has been good, but Surtain has been healthy and good. So.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to say that Surtain's had a better career so far than J.C. Horn.
Yeah.
If only because of the health. I think J.C. Horn's right there with him in terms of talent.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so far. So that's going to be interesting to watch where he lines up because honestly, the last few weeks, I think Terrace Marshall has been our maybe most consistent wide receiver.
Yeah.
Maybe the last 3 weeks.
Wow. How times have changed.
3-4 weeks, yeah.
But the good news is that we may have a 1 and 2, and if Chenault can step up, we may have a decent top 3 for next year with a competent offensive coordinator and quarterback.
Yeah,
more quarterback for them.
We have the draft, we have free agency. Like this thing can turn around with good decisions. This thing can turn around.
Exactly.
But you have to have the good decisions. So
good decisions.
So far, we haven't seen that. What's our next key here?
Another corner needs to step up besides J.C. Horn. We can't let Russell Wilson look like Seattle Russell Wilson. J.C. Horn, you do your thing, man. You've got it. Stay healthy. I'm not really worried about you that much. But on the other side of the ball is where even Dante Jackson did not look good. He was consistently on our bottom 5 of PFF. And you could tell he always had high tackles.
Yeah.
he went out. CJ Henderson got picked on more, and he has looked awful. Like, at this point, Keith Taylor has struggled. Somebody needs to step up in this. Tay Hayes. There's another corner that is a 9-year vet that's back there. I can't think of his name. He may get some playing time. Somebody needs to step up and play corner better than garbage. I, you know,
Yeah.
we let Baltimore's second or third string receiver, he's probably actually like fourth considering how many injuries they had, have like 100-something yards last week. We can't do that. I mean,
They basically turned into their number.
he did.
Like it. Yeah. I was trying to find the name of the guy that you were talking about. Who we just signed recently, the corner. Um, Whatever his name is. Steve Wilks said that he was an option this week. Like he wasn't going to rule him out to start opposite J.C. Horn. So that just tells you like they're searching. They're trying to find the other side of that cornerback room. You pay, and we were hesitant about it at the time when they paid Dante Jackson
We
instead of
wanted
Stephon
him.
Gilmore.
Yeah, we wanted him or Stephon, and I guess I was like, okay, he's younger. I get that.
Yeah.
But Stephon would have been the better choice. Let's be honest.
But
If you
the
sign him to a
money,
3-year deal,
yeah,
and
I mean the money turned out to be pretty much the same. I think Stephon maybe slightly less,
yeah,
getting paid slightly less. Um, and I don't
and
know
play.
if Stephon wanted to be here. It seemed like he did, but he may not have been a Matt Rule guy.
Yeah, he may have not liked him at all.
Yeah,
I mean,
we didn't hear that specifically, but I think there were a
Stephon's
lot of guys that were not Matt Rule guys.
Stephon Gilmore was a pro, and he
Yeah,
understands being a pro. I could see him not liking him and not saying it.
he was definitely one of us.
Yeah.
That guy. Yeah. Yeah. I added a fourth key here. I think if you can make the Broncos one-dimensional, right? They just cut Melvin Gordon. They're going to be relying on Latavius Murray to be their number one running back.
Mm-hmm.
Latavius Murray has had good seasons. He's had really good games in the NFL, but I wouldn't consider him a top 20 running back in the league. I think he's a guy that you can stop. He's not an exceptional pass catcher. Like he's a running back. He's bounced around everywhere. There's a reason. If you can take him away completely, make Russel Wilson, who has looked terrible this year, try to beat you with his arm. If that corner opposite JC can step up, or they can scheme a way to take out, Cortland Sutton, and if Jerry Jeudy plays, then I think you've got a real shot here. Because this Broncos offense is not good. The defense is, like you said, Broncos are better than the Panthers on defense, but both defenses are good.
Yeah.
And if Sam Darnold can step it up, man, and fire that ball down the field, you could see a Panthers victory here. Now, Jerry, you mentioned before we started the podcast that if the Panthers beat the Broncos jump the Panthers in the draft order. Now, there's going to be a lot of fans that don't want to hear about the draft order here in week 12. But those guys need to understand that this is a 3-8 football team. I understand we're in the NFC South, but we're a 3-8 football team. Fans' minds are going to start drifting towards April.
Yeah, if you're a Panthers fan and you want to lose this game, I am not faulting you one bit. We are sitting at number 2 in the draft. And let's be honest, like we're now like 3 games out from Tampa Bay, and this is
every other team is ahead of us in the division. Has looked better than us.
Yeah. And would you prefer to get your new coach's top pick at a quarterback or second pick to put, let's be honest, Texas got that number 1 locked up because they ain't winning nothing.
I was looking at their schedule because they got that tie. It's like, man, they would have to win like
2 games. 2 games in like
we
6.
We could lose out, and they'd have to win, I think, 3 games. 3 out of their next 4 games or whatever. they're not going to do that or go
Yeah,
3-4, whatever it is.
yeah,
They're not doing that. Like they got that number one pick locked up.
yeah.
Uh,
So
yeah. So, um, I agree with Jerry 100%. Like you can still be a real Panthers fan, a diehard Panthers fan, and want this team to lose out
I will be cheering for
for
them
the
during
future
the
of the
game, but
franchise. Yeah.
mentally, I want them to lose this game. If that makes any sense.
Logically, you're thinking with your brain, you want to lose. With your heart, you want to win.
Exactly,
Yeah.
100%.
This your Spock, you want him to lose. Kirk, you want him to win, right? You get
Correct.
that reference?
I do. I
Okay.
understand a little bit
Okay.
of Star Trek.
Okay. I mean, if you didn't know Spock, I'd have to wonder. All right. Any other kind of final thoughts there, other matchups you wanted to talk about before we get into our beer bet?
No, the sad thing is this is a really winnable game, and I would love to see them win, but at the same time, I don't want to see them to win.
Yeah, I understand. I
I
mean,
I would love to knock off you unlimited
yeah,
down a peg or two as well in this season, but I
Russell
want the
Wilson.
Panthers' long-term future better.
Yeah, I mean, Russell Wilson has been probably my most disliked quarterback since he was drafted because of the success that he's had against my team.
Yeah.
He's and many other reasons I don't like Russell Wilson, but mainly it's because he's just beaten the crap out of the Panthers his whole career, and I'm tired of it. But I don't I don't want Russell Wilson to win, but I don't want us to win either. For I don't know. It's so hard, man. It's so hard because when I look at that draft board and I'm like, man, the quarterback of the future could be right here if we stay where we are.
I mean,
There are a lot of
Bryce
people
Young or
that think
CJ Stroud. I
there
mean,
are a lot of
that's
people that
what.
think those guys are can't miss, like that they are really good prospects, high end prospects. A couple of wins blows that chance.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm right there with you, like with my head and with my heart. My heart, I want the Panthers to win out,
Yeah.
somehow make the playoffs, and see what happens. But and then I look at this roster and I'm like, Sam Darnold gonna do it? Baker gonna do it? Are we gonna rely on PJ Walker to take us to the promised land on one leg? I don't know, guys. I don't know. All right. We've not come up with a beer bet before the podcast, Jerry. Do you have one in mind?
No, not at all. To be honest with you, it's this
I
game.
have one.
Okay, good. Then
I have
let's
one.
roll with that. Beer bet of the week.
Beer bet of the week. Okay. So we've been talking about Russell Wilson. This is gonna be a Russell Wilson based beer bet.
Okay.
Over under 2.5 touchdowns throws. No. Under 1.5 touchdown throws for Russell Wilson in this game.
Under.
Okay, I guess I'm going over. If he throws 2, I think we lose. So we'll see.
I think if he throws one, we could still lose.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we saw that last week. They didn't even throw one.
Man, they limited Lamar so well last
No,
week, and then they
couldn't do anything on offense. All right, well, let's get to our bold predictions here, Jerry. I'm going to let you go first.
Well, like the past 3 weeks now, I'm gonna go on a limb.
Is this the week to do it, Jerry? This will be extra bold this week.
I am gonna go on the ledge here and say Terrace Marshall Jr. 100 yards receiving. He breaks it. He finally does it. Lock it in.
All right, there you go. Well, my bold prediction is going to be Raheem Blackshear leads the Panthers in rushing this week.
My fantasy team does not like that at all.
Your fantasy team doesn't like a lot these days.
Hey! I've been pretty good this year.
Yes, you are in the top 10 of our fantasy league. That is true. All right. I'm just kidding. Jerry's going to easily make the playoffs in our fantasy league, and then who knows what could happen. All right. Let's go with our game predictions here. I guess I'll kick it off. Broncos 2.5-point favorites in this game. I think the Panthers do cover in a last-second 1-point loss to the Broncos, 19-18, Denver Broncos.
I am gonna go. Sorry, guys, it's gonna be a boring one. 16-9 Broncos.
Ouch.
Well, I mean, I just don't believe in either one of these offenses, and it could be that Sam Darnold makes us get 23 and we win this game, but I don't see Denver scoring a lot, and right now I don't know what I'm gonna get from Sam Darnold.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to watch this game, believe it or not. I mean, you may not believe it from what we're saying, but if Sam Darnold goes out and lights it up and throws for 300 yards and the Panthers win this game by 2 touchdowns, it's going to be impossible for me not to enjoy that and be excited about that.
Oh, I will be happily on here singing the praises of Sam Darnold if we win.
Yeah.
But
again, head and heart, right? So there are upsides to winning. There are downsides to winning at this point of the season. You're 3-8.
Well, when you're sitting here with the record we have, it is definitely up and down. You have to weigh your options.
Yeah.
And the fans that say you're not a real fan if you want them to lose. Well, I want long-term success. I don't want a win and then crap for 3 more years.
I don't want this again next year.
Yes.
If you're
I want
a
a good
fan,
quarterback.
You don't want this again next year. If you're a real fan, you want the team to do what is going to be best for the future of the franchise.
I plan on sitting in this seat for the next 2-3 years, and I view that out. I'm viewing it that way.
Right. I mean, you should probably get up every once in a while, but.
Yeah, I will. I mean,
okay.
I should, because
you should.
The seat's kind of molded to my butt now. It fused.
Blood clots,
No. Have you ever heard of the sidetrack? Have you ever heard of those heavy set people that can't get out of their chairs and stuff how the fabric fuses to their skin?
It grows
and stuff? Oh
them,
man!
Yeah.
Oh, that's gotta be so
the chair
painful.
Becomes part of. They have to have it surgically removed. Okay.
Oh.
Hey, Jerry, let's do just real quick picks on the Thanksgiving games, because there's actually some pretty interesting games on Thanksgiving.
I don't know the games. Let's go. I'll do them if you have them ready.
All right, the 12:30 game on CBS. That's going to be your Romo game. Buffalo.
You broke up. I don't hear what you said. I heard Lions. Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
And you broke up. Sorry. Yes.
Buffalo Bills at the.
You broke up again. What is going on? Do you know? Zoom does not want us to know these games all of a sudden.
Buffalo Bills at the Detroit Lions.
Oh, Bills. That's easy.
Okay. I don't think it's quite that easy, but the Bills are 9.5-point favorites. I think they're going to win, but I think it could be a fun game.
I think 9.5. I could see the point differential going Detroit's way, because they play well on Thanksgiving typically.
Yeah. And Buffalo's not unstoppable. They've lost a few games lately. Next game is going to be fun. The New York Giants at the Dallas Cowboys.
I can't rightfully predict the Cowboys to win ever. I think it would kill my soul a little bit, so I have to go Giants.
Teams.
I'm gonna go Giants, even though that I think Cowboys have a better roster. I think Brian Daboll is a better coach, and I'm gonna go with that.
Okay. I'm gonna pick the Cowboys to win that game.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. The 8:20 NBC game. Mike Tirico, Colin Cowherd. Patriots at the Vikings. Another game that's
Vikings.
Patriots 6-4. Vikings are 8-2, but they have a negative point differential for the season. So are they really that good?
I don't necessarily think they're really 8-2 good, but I do think that last week's shellacking that they took by the Cowboys, I think they're going to be up for this game, especially on primetime.
I think we usually have at least, I would say we usually have two or three bad games on Thanksgiving. where it's just either one team is really good, the other one team is terrible. I think we have like 2 good games, and then a fun game with Buffalo and Detroit. I think these are 3 interesting games.
I think they're 3 interesting games, and you're right. They're usually like 1 or 2 blowouts during the Thanksgiving, and you got to talk to your family, fun, talk to Uncle Diddles and everything.
Uncle Jack with his tiny hands. All right. Okay. The rest of the NFC South, we got the Buccaneers going against the Broncos this week.
We're at the Broncos, so that
or the Browns. Excuse me, the Browns. The Browns. Buccaneers. Jesus Christ.
Have Buccaneers you taken shots Browns. Before the game? Before this podcast, like I did?
No, CBDX.com. Promo code Meow. I think the Bucs are going to win that game. I think the Bucs are going to start turning it on. This is like the time that if they're going to turn it on, this is the time they're going to do it.
Okay.
Do you agree?
That's it? Yeah. I honestly do. If they're going to turn it on,
Okay. Falcons at the Commanders. Sneaky good game.
I was going to say Commanders, but I could see it going the other way too, as Falcons are feisty and.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Falcons, I think, in that game. I don't like the Falcons, but I don't like Washington either. Saints at the 49ers as the 425 Fox game.
Oh, God. I'm rooting for the Saints this week?
No, 49ers.
Yeah,
let's root for McCaffrey.
I'm rooting for a better second-round draft pick, me personally, but, you go for CMC. I'm rooting for CMC to have a great game.
Jerry. You're right. No, I still root for the Saints. I'll root for the Saints. I'll root for the other teams against the 49ers. I don't want to root for the Saints.
That's fine. I understand that. And someone with, CMC on his fantasy team, I'll probably be pulling for him too. But, and again, CMC is a good dude. I personally hope he does do well.
He's been looking very good. That team has looked transformed with him.
It's like an offensive coach knows how to use them. Crazy.
Right. Well, everyone knew that when he went there that like you were going to see him kind of unlocked. But I don't think he's been unlocked. I think he's just been re-engaged. Like he's just being used properly again.
It's used properly. That's the thing. I don't because he was engaged here. He plays hard here. It was just we had horrible coaching, offensive and head coaching that didn't want to use him and another running back at the same time. I mean,
exactly. They ran him into the ground.
Yeah.
It's quite possible that CMC is not even going to be leading in touches or leading in carries.
Yeah. He may not end up leading in carries for San Francisco, but
San Francisco. All right. I think that's going to do it, Jerry.
All right. We want to thank everyone for listening. If you like the show, please let your friends know. Please follow us on Twitter at MeowMix Podcast. If you have any questions or comments, you can email us at mailbag@meowmixpodcast.com. If you leave us a 5-star review with a comment on Apple Podcasts, we'll read it on our show. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. And I have been drinking Hornitos Silver.
All right. We'll be back on Sunday afternoon to discuss the Panthers outcome versus the Denver Broncos. Until then, everybody stay safe out there. Have a happy Thanksgiving and keep pounding.